Introducing the all-new Corolla.
And you know, there's only one governor. There's not two governors. And we've moved forward in the negotiation of this lease. And you know, if the Attorney General would like to renegotiate the lease, then maybe he should run for governor.
Governor Eddie Calvo is not happy about holdups from the Attorney General's office in getting a new lease agreement signed for the Cortec facilities in Tietzen. The new agreement would exercise the lease-to-own option for the Tietzen campus currently occupied by Untalan Middle School. It would also expand the government's footprint to include the two buildings currently used by Guahan Academy Charter School. But the government is running on a deadline of December 31st to exercise the lease-to-own option.
You know, the clock is ticking, and this is not something that just popped up this past week when the media got hold of it. This is something that we have been working diligently on since August, and you know, of course it needs the signature of the Attorney General, and to this point it's not occurred.
The governor's office submitted the lease to Attorney General Lenny Rapadas in August, but spokesperson for the AG, Carlina Charfaris, last week told PNC that the delay is due to concerns about the agreement raised by the Bureau of Budget and Management Resources. Calvo, however, maintains that the AG should not be concerned with matters of policy.
The responsibility for the Attorney General's office is to look at that contract, look at it through legality and form. And if it's legal and the form is correct, put their stamp of approval on it. It's not an issue of policy. The Attorney General does not make policy. He should focus on what is important from the policymakers at education and the chief executive of the island of Guam.
But the AG isn't the only one voicing concerns about the lease. Senator Ben Pangilinan criticized the current lease agreement when it was signed in January of 2012. Yet Calvo maintains that this is a wise purchase, saying the Department of Education can't wait 18 to 24 months for a new school to be built when George Washington High School is already overcrowded.
You have 2,600, 2,700?
2,600 students.
At GW. You know, we could acquire property, we could try to find financing to build a new George Washington High School, but obviously that's going to need a little bit more time.
PNC was unable to obtain a copy of the lease agreement since it is still considered a draft under review. But according to PNC files, Cortec currently receives $5.1 million in tax credits each year for the use of the facility. And while the purchase price was listed at $43.5 million in January of 2012, the lease-to-own option at that time was listed at $125 million overall. DOE Superintendent John Fernandez last night wrote a letter to the governor asking for an update on the lease agreement and reiterating DOE's desire to use the facility to open a new central high school. Calvo says his office has always been in support of that idea and hopes the AG, too, will put his focus on students.
I think that office should focus, as we all are, as John Fernandez in the Department of Education is, this governor and our administration is, on what's in the best interest of our students. And that's most important. And I look forward to working with him. And again, I look forward to him looking at this contract, looking at the legality and the form, and signing off on it.
Betsy Brown, PNC News.